to stroke out. I sell jokes for clout, and I'll never run out. 'Cause
so funny. Fat bottom girls, you make this rockin' world go round. Yeah. Fat bottom girls, you make this rockin' world go round. And hey, get on your bikes and ride. There's something so comedically funny about fat bottom girls, you make this rockin' world go round on an acoustic guitar. What? It's ridiculous. Music comedy is awesome. It exceeds comedy itself, stand-up comedy. I will say that. The next thing I will say is I'm also enthralled with 90s country music as of late. It's bar none. R.I.P. Toby Keith, Alan Jackson. They have transcended. Can I get a witness? Testify. Can I get an amen? My favorite line from Alan Jackson, and it's comedy gold. It's impeccable. Alan Jackson, Toby Keith, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. Toby Keith has so many good ones, but Alan Jackson, my favorite one is way down under on a chatty hoochie. It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. Than a hoochie coochie. And my favorite line in that song, though, is he doesn't get laid. He's on a date. Do you understand? He doesn't get laid. You understand what I'm saying? And the comedic line, which is gold, hats off to Alan Jackson. The line is this, verbatim. So I settled for a burger and a grape snow cone. A grape snow cone. This dude, this cowboy, he settles for a grape snow cone because he's still happy. And this is going to bring me into the next segment before the commandments is college students. I read a study today. Apparently, they're the most anxious and depressed, historically speaking, than ever before. And I'm not sure if it's the screens, because there was another part of the study that was about not getting adequate sleep, and their age bracket, 18 to 24, they need the most sleep out of any other age group for humans, and they're not getting it. I thought it was an interesting study because mainstreams are like, public education stinks. I had this whole thing on the you can fix public education high school by fixing the light bulbs. That weird fluorescent lighting, you fix that, we're halfway there. But with the college students, I want to provide some piece of insight, spiritually based. This is like true advice, because what do they do in high school? They set you up for failure from the get-go. It's appalling, actually. This is an appalling thing high school does. They do, as you graduate, who's most likely to succeed? Who's the most popular? And I think class clown or something like that. And it's an appalling thing to do to people, because we're telling high schoolers who are about to go on to collegiate endeavors or going to university, if you're outside of the United States, that the outer dictates the inner well-being and consciousness. I can assure you, college students, it does not. The test or exam you're about to take on Friday that you're studying for and you're worrying about, 3 months from now, you won't even remember you were worried about it. You won't even remember the anxiety. And that's the most fascinating thing, that our inner consciousness is the only thing. So the outer world actually can't hurt us. And therefore, what anxiety and depression literally is, by definition, is me thinking about me. And look, there's always going to be a critic. There's always going to be a boss you're not going to like. In the popularity contest in high school. Look, the inner consciousness is where it's at. That's all I'm saying to the college students. Literally, how we become hurt is from the inside. It's not from the out. We essentially self-destruct with anxiety and depression because of our inner consciousness and this watered down spirituality and commandments that we have been provided for some reason. I'm not sure why this was so hidden, but let me tell you, college kids, if any college kids are listening, take a deep breath. Number one. Number two, connect to the innermost part of yourself. Who you are. Connect to who the F you really are. And this is just a physical, this is a representation of our spiritual condition. That's about it. That's our outer body shell. We all know we're much deeper than this physical earth suit thing we got wearing. And consciousness itself is prayer. These words got translated from Greek to Latin to Hebrew, all these translation issues. In the last podcast, I was talking about how the women's suffrage movement in the United States is truly extraordinary. It's never happened before. It's the most significant time in human history. Let's remember, men kept women out of everything forever. And it's not because of America. We came from different countries. You can look at modern day Asian countries or European countries. Women do not want to transcend or challenge the conventional cultural traditions they have there. In America, due to the suffrage movement, women can vote, they can work alongside. This is huge in modern day society. America never gets credit for this. Why? I don't know. It's from Christian values. That's probably why. It's from the commandments. That thou shalt honor thy mother and father. What does that mean? Most people think it's literal. Like, no, those are your foster parents. God itself has polarity. That's extraordinary. When I was researching the commandments, I never thought that I was going to uncover such profound meaning and substance. God has... How many times have you heard, I ain't worshiping no sky daddy, or I worship she. I worship she. My God's a her. It's both. Is God everything or nothing? What's your choice? Go. That's your choice. Whatever it is. And that's okay wherever people are at. I'm not evangelical. And I had this kick early on because people were like, you're talking about God and commandments? You're as close to God consciousness as anyone else. Literally. So if you hear a song you like, or you think something's funny, or you think I said something funny, I'm just mirroring what you already know about yourself. That's your subjective experience. To prove it, if you've never seen an apple, orange, or banana, and there's a banana lineup, follow me, how would you even know what a banana is? You already know truth, and that gets mirrored through the subjective experience when you see something funny, when you see someone that, say your favorite music. My favorite music kind of hits me emotionally. And some of my favorite songs made me cry in the past. And why do I like that? Because it's mirroring truth, the human experience, and the suffering, the anxiety, the depression. Trust me when I tell you, there is a solution for every problem. So if there are people, I don't care if it's college students, anyone, if you're going through something hard, tomorrow is going to be a brighter day. Jim Croce. You can't have a rainbow without a little rain. Am I right? Now I'm talking in cliches. College, am I right? Not my monkey, not my circus. You are what you eat. Literally though, that's an Old Testament Jewish cliche, but it's true. It's true. You are what you eat. And that's why diet is focused in almost every religion. Christianity, one of the tenets I learned from the Old Testament to the New Testament, some of the changes, fasting is a tenet of Christianity. How many people fast? I don't know. It's hard for me to do. I remember in college, I could eat a full pizza, go on a run. No big deal. Today, I have to watch what I eat or I'll feel like garbage. And this is a hack, by the way. Non-fat Greek yogurt, or faggy. I'm not even making a joke here. Faggy. I'm not trolling. Here's a picture of it. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it faggy? Figgy? Faggy? Figgy? I don't know. Phage? No one knows. How come that didn't get banned, but Aunt Jemima did, and Uncle Ben's rice. What about faggy? That's crazily. That's blatant. That literally says a slur on the yogurt container. But whatever. I'm going into this anyway. Non-fat Greek yogurt literally is a superfood. So your gut, this is true. I went to college. This guy had to go to college. He's so smart. He's comedically genius. So faggy yogurt, or whatever it is, has probiotics. And your gut literally signals to serotonin in your brain. It's connected. You literally are what you eat. These religious dietary restrictions, some of it was frippery nowadays. However, in the past, it was like a message from God. Him, her, self. It's plural. If there was pronouns, God would be him, her. God is essentially by. Seriously, by thy shall honor thy mother and father. There's a polarity to God. God's literally both. Is God everything or nothing? Come on. So Greek yogurt, by the way, is probiotics. It's a superfood. The caloric profile of Greek yogurt is bananas. It's off the chain. It's impeccable. It truly is. Faggy yogurt. I think it's 19 grams of protein per 3 grams of carbohydrates. It's essentially just protein. And on top of that, you throw some frozen bloobs. It's a blue. Everybody loves a little cutie. Throw a little cutie in there, a little bit of honey. You got yourself a delicious treat instead of ice cream. And not only that, you're going to thank yourself because you're going to feel better. Happiness itself comes from diet. What? I would drink every night of the week in college. Another college advice I have before I wrap this up, and I do want to get to another commandment, but that may be another podcast, is drink vodka. It sounds like the worst advice for college kids. Drink vodka. If you go out and have 3 or 4 drinks, you're drinking soda. 4 sodas? 4 beers? You ever see people and they're just bloated? That's from beer and all this crazy stuff we're doing to ourselves. If you just drink vodka, there's no caloric intake. There's no sugars. Like, it just... White Claw's possible. I don't know. I'm trying to give realistic advice because when I was in college, I didn't care what I ate. Now I do. But there has to be a realistic expectation, guys. There has to be a realistic expectation. You can't just go into, I'm going to measure my macros and I'm going to seriously take this seriously for a week and then you fall off. So it has to be realistic, something you can do every day for the rest of your life. You have to start small. Maybe a little Greek yogurt, some egg whites in the morning. Go on a walk. Start with walking. I don't know. We've become so unhealthy. Anxiety and depression is a symptom of something much more profound. And it's a spiritual void. That's what it is. And it gets exemplified by these politicians that have, for the first time in human history, silenced other ideological groups' speech. That's always been the high priests. Egypt. Jesus Christ himself was crucified. I just went through this stuff. It's very interesting because we worship now political ideologies. How scary. That's super scary, man. I don't trust that, and I don't think that they're going to save you. What's the Bible? And since I've been researching the commandments, I've realized that every major war, conflict started from tyrannical governments, essentially, and every government gets rotten to the core. You can't name one government that has not been rotted from the inside, not the outer. That's the point of this whole podcast, really. It rots from the inside, just like resentment. Reliving an emotion. It's literally, it comes from the Greek. to relive an emotion. And I'm going to end this podcast with this thought. If you have a resentment, you're not present. That's the problem with resentment. You're not present. You're somewhere else. Imaginary conversations in your head with people that aren't there, situations that don't exist. I should have said this during that. I would have owned them. You're thinking about that alone, by yourself, driving your car, but you're actually not alone. You got imaginary stuff going on. That's different states right now. Tucson in a couple days. And so how you can support Ross of Nazareth is go in the description until YouTube restores my privileges. Donate to the PayPal at Ross of Nazareth. At Ross of Nazareth. My website. So I didn't do the website. An assistant did it, and they're working on it, getting up to date. I looked at it; it was like ridiculous. So if you want to book shows with me, go on my website or the booking at Ross and Nazareth. They'll handle it. And also, if anyone's interested in the Spotify or the songs I use as intros or anything like that, it's at Spotify or YouTube Music, whatever you want to do. Other than that, namaste, namago. Let's hit some sick outro music.
About to stroke out, I sell jokes